I have pre-prepared a couple of things. The first thing is 4 ounces of mushrooms, and I just sauteed these a little bit in some bacon drippings. And these are baby portobellos, but you can use white mushrooms, you could use any kind of mushroom that you enjoy, and that's 4 ounces, and they're sliced. The other thing I have is bacon, and that is 2/3 of a cup of crumbled bacon, which is what I'm using in this step. If you wanted to use strip bacon, you need about 4 strips cooked and crumbled up, and I have just rewarmed them in their own drippings. We are going to need a saucepan to create our sauce for our chicken Florentine. You are also going to need 3 pounds of chicken. I have boneless, skinless chicken thighs here that I have already cooked and cut up. If you wanted to use a rotisserie chicken in this step, you absolutely could. That would be very time-saving. But these are just boneless, skinless thighs cut up, and that is 3 pounds worth. So we want to start our sauce. Now, the original recipe that I found was from food.com, and it used a cream of mushroom soup in this step, and cream of mushroom soup is not a ketogenically friendly item. It has a lot of starches in it, and of course that brings the carbs up. So I am creating something that is more ketogenically safe, but also in keeping with the same theme. So we want to start with 2 tablespoons of butter, and just put that in our saucepan, and we want to turn our heat on and get our butter going. Takes a long time for butter to melt. To our almost melted butter, we are going to be adding 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. I just like to soften my cream cheese because it helps get the incorporation going a little bit more quickly into our sauce. And that's 4 ounces, and I'm using Philadelphia brand because it's the lowest in carbs that I have personally found. Definitely check your carbs if you're going to be going for a grocery store brand. So we just want to start working our cream cheese into our butter. And it's going to look a little bit lumpy, so don't be alarmed. And we're just working on getting everything incorporated. So the next step that we want is we are going to be using heavy cream, and I want 2/3 of a cup. And we're just going to continue to whisk this, and our cream cheese will start to melt into the rest of our ingredients. We're just keeping this on a medium heat. So we're basically making a white sauce, and we are going to be adding some cheese to it. But this is essentially our creamy Florentine sauce. Our cream cheese has melted into the rest of our sauce. I want to add Italian seasoning at this point. I'm using just regular Italian seasoning. You can use whatever Italian seasoning that you like, and however much you like. I like it fairly strong because this is going to be flavoring our entire dish. Okay, so we are going to be adding a cheese element to our sauce. I have a 1/2 cup of grated Parmesan. I'm using the powdered kind. You could absolutely use the shredded if that's something you prefer, but I do like the powdered in this step, and that's a 1/2 cup. And we're just going to incorporate that. And the Parmesan cheese is going to help our sauce thicken a bit. Now, to make our sauce spread a little further to accommodate our meats and mushrooms, and we are also going to be adding one more vegetable to this, I want to thin my sauce just a bit with some chicken stock. So I have a half a cup of chicken stock. And I'm just going to incorporate that, and I'm just going to let it simmer for a minute. And while that is simmering, I am going to start getting some of the ingredients into my casserole dish. So we're going to go ahead and add our already done chicken. And as I stated in the beginning, if you wanted to use a rotisserie chicken in this step, you definitely could. But I'm just going to put that in the bottom of my casserole dish. And you can see all of our beautiful herbs in there. So I'm just going to pour that on, and we're going to stir this. So my spatula to make sure I get all my sauce out. I'm going to give this a bit of a stir just to get the sauce down into the bottom and get our chicken coated. Now we can't forget about our beautiful bacon. It is an extremely important part, so we are going to incorporate it as well. Making sure we get all of the bacon drippings, because that's the yummy part. And I'm just going to incorporate that as well, as evenly as I can. Our final step, or final ingredients rather, is 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. I'm going to put half of this and work it into the casserole, and then I'm going to top the other half on top of my casserole. So I'm taking half of this and I'm going to incorporate it inside. And I like mozzarella in this step because it's a light cheese and it's not strongly flavored, so it is going to allow our Italian taste to come through, but still be cheesy. If you prefer a different cheese, you could absolutely use whatever you would like. Minutes and then we'll check. So here's what it looks like at 20 minutes. It's a little bit brown on the edges, which is great. But for me personally, I would like the top to be just a little bit more brown. So I'm going to broil it for a minute and a half, just to get the cheese a little bit more brown. We let it sit here and cool for a few minutes so that our sauce can settle and get thick. And then I will cut it and we will serve CJ and get his opinion.